Good evening and welcome to the Australian Women's Ice Hockey League Saturday night hockey here at the Hunter Ice Skating Stadium between the home team, the Sydney Sirens, and the Perth Inferno. I'm Eric Brook, and alongside me shortly will be Sarah Marsh. She has alternative duties down at ice level shortly. She'll be dropping the puck shortly for the ceremonial puck drop. Then she'll be joining me in commentary. The home Sydney Sirens team, they have played 10 games, as have the Perth Inferno. The Sydney Sirens are fourth on the ladder. Meanwhile, the Perth Inferno are first on the ladder. Perth Inferno with 25 points. The Sydney Sirens currently on 16. We're approaching the end of warm-up. Perth Inferno have a very short bench due to various player unavailabilities. The Sydney Sirens are almost at full strength. The biggest loss that they'll have today is Sarah Edney, their captain, and she has really driven this Sirens team. But having a look at both teams, the Inferno and the Sirens, they have a history of big scores against each other since the Inferno entered the league a few years ago. The first of two games this weekend, the Inferno are already lining up on the blue line, and the Sirens will be joining them shortly. This will be a very interesting battle between both of these teams. The first games for both teams after the Christmas New Year break. We'll pause for the national anthem. The anthem has been played in arena. We are just moments away from starting. We're about to have my co-commentator and hockey legend in Australia, especially in the women's game, Sarah Marsh, and she is coming onto the ice to perform the ceremonial puck drop. Her hockey resume is very, very extensive, and I'm rather pleased to call her a friend and a colleague here in the central commentary position. She'll be joining us shortly. The two captains will be coming over shortly for the ceremonial puck drop, having a look at the goaltending situation for each team. Sasha King will be starting for the Perth Inferno, and we're expecting Ella Curry to start for the Sirens. So Sarah is having her biography read out to the crowd. She has an extensive hockey history, an extensive hockey IQ, playing the hardest position on the ice as a goaltender, is still very active in coaching, and also, even though she's retired from the Sirens, she still does play in the Ice Hockey New South Wales tournaments. And so great recognition for Sarah. She'll drop the ceremonial puck drop shortly. And then we'll be underway for this action. The Australian Women's Ice Hockey League. We're at an interesting stage of the season. The Christmas New Year break has ended and all teams are in competition today. Stick taps all round for Sarah. So Kath McConey and Catherine Bailey heading to centre ice for the ceremonial puck drop. Kath McConey and Sarah playing together in the Sirens for many, many years. And Catherine Bailey, the new captain of the Perth Inferno. So we're just moments away. Sarah is walking across the ice and will be joining me in commentary shortly. We're just moments away now from action. It's been a long day for the Inferno. They flew over from Perth today. It's a long flight from Perth to Sydney and then driving up to Newcastle. They have a very short bench, 2 lines of defence. The Sydney Sirens, on the other hand, they have a longer bench. Their main person out today is Sarah Edney. As we welcome Sarah back to the central commentary box. Sarah, hello.
Hi, welcome.
Nice to see you.
Oh, good to see you too.
So how was it out there on the ice as you were walking across after the ceremonial puck drop?
Don't fall, don't fall, don't fall. Oh, it's nice. It's always an honour. It's always nice to be recognised by something that meant so much to me for a huge chunk of my life. Brought my youngest, Axel, out there. Tarek's done it before, so it was Axel's turn to be out there with me. That's
awesome. And as I mentioned a bit earlier, played for the Sirens for many years, played for the Turkish national team as well. Still heavily involved in coaching, and even though you've retired from Sirens, you still play in the Australian winter.
Yes. So I'm affectionately known as a beer leaguer now because all roads lead to beer league. It is New South Wales seniors division that I play in. Picked up a few awards last season, which was successful, which was nice. But right now it's off season for me. It's summer hockey, and I get to watch my friends play and coach.
So here we are. We're just moments away. Ella Laikari in net for the Sydney Sirens and Sasha King in net for the Perth Inferno. We're just moments away now. Salmons takes a draw against Brunt. Clearing it out. The Sirens. It comes back now for Lang. Lang getting pressured there by Elizabeth Scala. Clears it now for Katormson. Katormson tries to clear the zone but can't, so Lang has to turn around. Chased there by Michelle Clark-Crompton, clearing it out. Finds Scala for the Inferno. Kept in the zone there, fired from distance. First save by Laikari. There was a good shot there from distance for the Inferno. Aspen Cooper coming across from the Adelaide Rush. In traffic again, Zoe Webb. Kept in the zone there by Captain Bailey for the Inferno. Michelle Clark-Crumpton against Kelsey Lang. That'll be a good battle in defence. Sarah Salmons now up against the boards. Reinforcements arrive for the Sirens. Sirens haven't really cleared it out of their defensive zone. Heads up in the photography area as the puck, Sarah, goes out of play.
Yeah, they always have to be a little bit on guard for the flying pucks. The boards only, the glass only goes so far. You definitely don't want to get hit. Perth wanted to come out dominating from the get-go, and it seems they are doing that with a minute into the game.
Marina Noddle against Kath McConey at the face-off, attacking zone face-off for the Inferno. Sirens really haven't cleared their defensive zone yet. It's been slanted in the early stages by the Inferno. Newmark now trying to clear it out. Back in the neutral ice. It will come back now for Bailey. Bailey cross-ice pass there for Harper. And the Inferno have gone offside.
So Eric, bring me up to speed. While I was doing puck duties and you started commentating, what have I missed?
I was just basically talking about the ins and outs, and a big out for the Sirens is Sarah Edney.
Indeed.
And the Perth Inferno have a rather short bench, including 2 lines of D. Back now for Noddle. Noddle. That's kept in. There's a good shot there from distance. by Georgia McClellan, one of the McClellan sisters.
Would you like to know what the other McClellan sister is doing?
Let's hear it.
She has just moved to Broome because she's becoming a doctor, so she may be in or out for weekend games. This weekend she's out because she has moved to Broome.
Dr. Lily McClellan.
Exactly.
But then again, aren't you a doctor as well?
I'm not a real doctor.
Not a Lily McClellan doctor.
I'm a doctor of philosophy doctor.
Thompson now entering the zone, and the doctor of hockey. Thompson centering pass, trying to find Brunt, but the pass was just a bit too wide. Kept in the zone by Poppy Noon. Her first appearance on the ice for the Sirens this year. Aspen Cooper clears it out, finds the skates of Garbett. Turnover. Thompson in a battle there with Koviak. Cooper again. Had an impressive rookie season for the Adelaide Rush. Now she's moved to the Perth Inferno. Noon against Lukoviak. Lukoviak now in possession. Finds Clark Crumpton. Clark Crumpton behind the net. Has some support in Zoe Webb. Sister Abby absent today. Ups up against the boards. Reinforcements arrive for the Sirens. Sirens need to clear it out. It's good work there by Brunt in the slot. The pass was wide of Thompson, but out of the zone. It will come back now for Salmons. And Salmons just happy to dump it in, giving a team an opportunity to change. But it was mainly the Sirens who changed, Sarah.
Yeah, indeed. It's looking like Perth, even though they've got less numbers on the bench, they are still dominating. A few mistakes happening from the Sirens that will count as the first shot on net for the Sirens for this game from Kath McConey. But I think the Sirens are just looking a little bit depleted. They've called up all their reserves, aside from Ellen Schmitz, who is over at U18's International, so playing for Worlds at the moment.
And so is Sister Annika.
So is Sister Annika, and so is Bella Ma from the Sirens.
Good opportunity for the Australian under-18, who are actually in action over this weekend. Fired in by Lang. It'll come back now for Steph Newmark. Newmark enters the zone, and that's a better quality shot there. Sasha King there. Kath McConey waiting on the doorstep, but King had that one well and truly covered glove side. Yeah,
I was watching her in her little off-ice warm-up. She was juggling balls. She was very, very dialed in. Don McDonald did try to distract her a little bit, but she didn't even flinch. Noddle
against McConey. Inferno try and clear it out. It will come back now for Lang. Lang for the Sirens, has plenty of time and space. Has Caruso on the left-hand side, has McConey for company as well. Goes herself, finds some support by Newmark, trying to find McConey, but it was wide. McConey in skate high corner. Inferno look to clear it out. Just out of the zone there, but Sirens keeping possession via Newmark in the end. Newmark battling against Malcolm, dumping it in the zone. Newmark centering past McConey and Noddle. Now for Malcolm. Malcolm trying to clear it out under some pressure by Rowe. And that will come back now for the Inferno. Georgia McClellan. Pressure there by Rowe. Georgia McClellan couldn't get a shot on wide of Lakari. No action required. Cleo Mayer with it now. Back to centre ice. Mayer entering the zone. Partial line change for the Inferno. They're certainly going glove side for King.
They are, and I think they're just trying to fire it on net. I mean, even if there was a rebound, there was no black jersey there to pick it up. A little bit of a line change. Charlotte Rowe wasn't sure she could come off or not. Really, she probably could have followed Cleo in just for that extra support.
Inferno trying to clear it out now. Lukoviak. You were saying earlier that Lukoviak's 20 and she's already got, what was it, 40?
60 games.
60 games already in the A-Dub.
60 A-Dub games, and played for U18 and the national women's team. So there's still a big future.
The power play is about to start for the Inferno. Charlotte Rowe, 2 minutes for an illegal hit.
A little bit of body contact going on.
So an attacking zone face-off for the Inferno. Grace Garbett from the UK, playing her first season in the A-Dub for the Inferno. That's left now for Malcolm. Malcolm tries to fire, lots of bodies in front, kept in the zone. Firing from distance, traffic in front, cleared out by the Sirens. It comes back now for Cooper. Cooper fires, lots of bodies from both teams there. Sirens cleared out. Inferno on the power play for the next minute 40. Lukoviak coming back now. 60 games in the A-Dub at such a young age. Back now for Sarah Salmons. Has got Scarlett for company, but the stick of York was there. Good work by Lucy York. Scarlett now. Cross ice pass for Georgia McClellan. Gets around one. Scarlett. Bit of opposition on the blue line. Salmons again. It's got so much speed. She hasn't had to use it so far in this game, but the night is only young. Georgia McClellan. Bailey D-to-D pass. Here's Bailey now, left-hand side. Back to McClellan, top of the umbrella. Back for Scarlett. Centre right. Centre of the slot area. Winding up. The puck's free. The puck's free. And the puck's in the back of the net. It's a power play goal. No, it's been waved off.
Interesting. You could see what Perth were doing. Ella is a big presence in net, and they were just trying to create so much chaos in front of her. Shot the puck onto the left pad. It just pops out, and Perth are trying to claim that it went in over the line before the whistle. I think it might have just been sitting on the line, but because the referee was on the other post, I don't think they could quite see what was going on. So they're having a little discussion, see what linesperson could pick up on, and it's a goal.
It's been awarded a goal, so a power play goal for the Inferno.
And the Sirens are just having a little discussion on that. So just on the replay, you see where the puck was, how close. Well, Ella's basically in the net herself, but the puck creeped over. The referee couldn't see where it was, but the linesmen could. 1-0 to Perth Inferno.
So that's Michelle Clark-Crompton, and 13 goals for her now in the season, and the first one of the evening. A power play goal for the Inferno. Before tonight, they were running at 20% on their power play, 8 from 40. The Sirens are respectable 78% in penalty kills. Sirens now need to reply. Arps behind the net. Clearing it out now via Bailey. Bailey centering pass. Finding Zoe Webb. Malcolm had to watch the offside there. Sirens in good position via Caruso. Back now for Bailey. Bailey fires but was wide. Back now again for Bailey. Not all loitering around, as is Harper. Battle in the corner. Noddle. McConey. Malcolm. Noddle. Cleared out of the slot area. That was good work by Noon. Cleared out Caruso. Bailey, 23 on 23 briefly, firing but was wide. Steph Newmark now looking to clear it out for the Sirens. Off the stick of Caruso. Flung in towards the corner, off the ricochet. It'll come back now for Bailey. Back now Harper. Harper, cross ice pass. But they were in the middle of a line change to the Inferno. Zoe Webb. Cross ice pass for Brunt. Brunt now with some open space. Brunt fires. The rebound's there. Sirens are there, but just couldn't control the rebound. It was good initial work for Brunt, who took advantage of the line change for the Inferno. And Sarah, line changes on the fly are difficult.
And can be dangerous.
And speaking of dangerous, Katormson there. Back now for Lakoviak. Lakoviak, 2-on-1 situation. Lang and York combine to dispossess Lakoviak. Sirens clear it out. Lucy York trying to get around one. It's good work there by Salmons. Equally good work there by Lang. Here's Scala now. Scala off the skates of Clark-Crompton, who got the first goal for the Inferno. Katormson now crossing all the lines. Drops it off for herself. Katormson now with it. Has no support. Finds some support and maybe still has no support. Fires herself, and a good save there by King.
We've had a few incidents, the Sirens, they've been putting the puck on net, and there's been a big rebound, but nobody there to clean it up. The Sirens could easily have scored at least twice already. Katormson just trying to go herself, take it around the net, find a gap, fire it on net, but Sasha kept up with it and put her brick wall up.
One there by McConey. Scala battling against Mayer. Good work there by Rose. Salmons battle up against the boards near the Door of Doom. Being a goalie, you wouldn't have had nothing to do with the Door of Doom over there, Sarah.
Back in the day.
Back in the day. This battle there, Scala. In some traffic, Sirens taking advantage of that. Good work, Newmark. Georgia McClellan, Steph Newmark. Back to neutral ice. It will come back now for Bailey. Bailey, the puck balloons in the air. Bailey gloves it down to herself, which is perfectly fine. It will come back now for Rowe. Rowe has Mayer for company. Finds Newmark on the right-hand side. Flung in from distance, and Sasha King has to play on. No pressure there by Sirens. The closest one was Kath McConey. It will come back now for Georgia McClellan. Crossing all the lines now. Thinks of a shot. Takes on the Sirens attack. Couldn't get through the last line of defence there. Gabby Arps. On the attack now, Malcolm. Battle up against the boards. Mayer tries to clear it out. It's left there for Bailey. Bailey fires off the stick of Mayer on the way through. Noddle clears it out. Kept in the zone well there by Bailey. Opportunity for the Sirens now to clear it out. Here's Rowe. Has got Caruso there. The pass was wide of Caruso. Caruso fires off the bottom of the goal frame. Left now for Zoe Webb. And Zoe Webb's going to have to do a lot of work tonight on D. It will come back. Sirens just happy to fire it in via Caruso. Off the stick of Bailey on the way through. Thompson there. Good battle there. And that one could go either way. Depending on what colour jersey you're wearing. The arm stays down. Back to neutral ice we go. Malcolm up against Arps. Malcolm finds Bailey. D-to-D pass, Zoe Webb. Thompson there. Pounces on the loose puck. Thompson there. Centering pass intended for Brunt, but Bailey was waiting for it in the slot. Kept in there by Caruso. Skate high corner. It'll come back now. Bailey up against Brunt. Brunt now with it. Battle up against the boards. That's good work there by Garbutt for the Inferno. Garbutt again. Played for the Great Britain national team. Zoe Webb clears it out. Has some support there. But it will come back now for the Sirens at their defensive end. Clearing it out via the backdoor escape route. Cockerell under some pressure against Cooper. It will come back now for Sam Winder. Scored herself a goal in Erina. Almost a zebra sandwich in the corner. Will come back now. Centering pass. Well kept in the zone by Cooper. Cooper now against Cockerell. Cooper, good battle in Zamboni corner. Back now for the Inferno. Winder. Centering pass. Clark Crumpton there in the slot. Couldn't control it. Back now for Garbutt. Just kept in the zone and firing from distance, but just finding Sam Payne. Not many whistles in this last section of play, Sarah.
No, not a lot at all, but you can see how controlled Perth Inferno are. They've got the good puck control, they're maintaining possession, and even if it does get coughed up, somehow they're getting it back on their stick.
Sarah Salmons now with the puck on a stick. Deflected wide by Lakari. Kept in there by Cooper. Zamboni corner. 8:20 remaining in the first period. Inferno 1-0. Thanks to a power play goal by Michelle Clark-Crumpton. Christine Cockerell. And we have a whistle. We have a penalty coming. Hooking's the call. Penalty box door will be opening. And Inferno will be going on their second power play of the evening. This time it's Kelsey Lang.
I do feel like Perth are going to try do similar things, just create chaos in front of Ella Lakari. Unfortunately for the Sirens, because they are lacking the usual depth today, you don't have your usual people on your penalty kill. They have to be ultra alert to see what's going on and not block Ella's vision, which is hard to do.
Inferno today on the power play before today, running at 20%, 4th in the league. Sirens on the penalty kill, 5th in the league. It will come back now for Arps. Arps looking to clear it out, has Noddle to deal with up against the boards in corporate corner. Good work there by Arps, just delaying the pass there. Up against the boards, reinforcements arrive. Mayer there as well. Noddle under a great deal of pressure. Garbutt now up against the boards. Cleared out by the Sirens. Lukoviak has to skate back to her own defensive end. Can play forward and D, Molly Lukoviak. Garbutt, cross-ice pass there for Scala, but it was intercepted by the Sirens there by Steph Newmark. It'll come back now for Rowe. Scala. 65 seconds of the power play for the Inferno remaining. Here's Salmons. Salmons, danger. Went 5-hole and the 5-hole closed rather quickly by Glycari. And it needed to. Back now for Bailey. Cross ice pass now for Salmons, right-hand side. Salmons fires, but Rowe was there. It'll come back now for McClellan of the Georgia variety. Back now for Bailey. McClellan at the top of the umbrella. Fire, selects power drive. I don't think Ella was expecting him to come through that hard. It was a bit of a delayed reaction. Back now for Bailey. 30 seconds of the power play remaining. Inferno now centering pass. Back now for McClellan. Backhanded for Salmons in Zamboni corner. Working down low now, Michelle Clark-Crumpton. Trying to clear it out. Newmark has a chance to clear it out for the Sirens and does. McClellan can't keep it in the zone. They have to turn and chase. 15 seconds of the power play. McConey's down there. Partial line change for both teams. Inferno trying to clear it out. They were successful on the first power play, Sarah, and they've got no time in the second one. Here's Malcolm. Malcolm trying to find Salmons. Salmons will come off for a change. I think Salmons was out there basically for the whole power play. Lang out of the penalty box. Nice pass to Thompson, but it was a bit wide. I like the intention. And that, Sarah, will come back for icing.
And now you can take a breath. Yeah, I think Sarah Salmons was out there for the entirety of that power play. Sirens, they did well to kill it. But Perth Inferno still did manage to get a few shooting opportunities, rather. Did get cleared, a couple of saves from Ella Kari. They did well.
Shots on 6 apiece at the moment. Certainly feels like Inferno's spent a lot of time at this end. McConey. Sirens holding their breath. Back now for Noddle. Noddle behind the net. Has some support there in Harper. Harper shooting from an acute angle and saved by Glycari on her right-hand post.
A little bit of pushy-shovey going on after the fact. Not a whole lot in it. Perth definitely, they don't look like they would be tired at all. Some of these girls, well, most of them would have been up at 3 a.m. Perth time to get on the long-haul flight, then the 2-hour drive and squeeze in a nap somewhere.
Pre-game naps are awesome.
It should be mandatory.
It should be, absolutely. Puck's free. Sirens trying to clear it out. Up against the boards. Webb of the Zoe variety does a good job of keeping it in initially. Cross ice pass now, Bailey. Off the skates there for Garbutt. Langan comes together. Here's Bailey. Bailey now entering the zone, flinging it in, speeding past Lang. Bailey, Zamboni corner. Zamboni out in 5 minutes. Battle up against the boards behind Glycari's net. Brunt trying to clear it out. Lakoviak's there. Reinforcements arrive. Payne and also Bailey. Centering. There's good work there by the Inferno. Bailey's had a busy game. Here's an opportunity for the Sirens, first of all, to clear it out. Here's Thompson now. Thompson 3-on-1, almost 4-on-1, but Garbutt gets the puck for the Inferno. Gets around one, tries to get around a second, gets around a second, but Mayer did enough. And the puck comes back for the Sirens. D-to-D pass off the stick of Cooper in the end. In front, Scala. Sirens clear it out urgently. Zamboni corner. Thompson again. Past the stick of Salmons. Back now to Salmons via McClellan. Salmons with the possession down the left-hand side. Salmons turns on the speed. Salmons looking for a clear lane. Hasn't got one. Cross ice pass. Top of the umbrella, McClellan. Finds Salmons. Gives her a bit of room on the left-hand side. 9-on-19. Salmons on McConey. McConey gets a better of that one. Up against the boards and out of the zone. It will come back now for Cooper. Back now for Scala. Salmons with a lot of time. Line change for the Sirens. Not ideal. Driving the net. Salmons, Lakari, right-hand post up to it. Back now for Caruso. Cross ice pass. Bit of time and space now on the right-hand side. Trying to squeeze past a couple. It was good work by Newmark, but King lives up to it. Damon was waiting.
That one very almost looked like it was sneaking in. I'm sure if Steph Newmark had a little bit more to it on her backhand, that would have found its way in the back of the net, as we just watch on the replay there. Yeah, I'm sure that would have snuck in if not for Sasha King.
3:23 remaining in the first period. Inferno 1-0. Hunter Ice Skating Stadium in Newcastle. Back now in Cafe Corner. Salmons clears it out. Ups with the big one-timer, which didn't go anywhere in the end. Back now for Noddle. Noddle enters the zone. Gets around one. Lakari attacks the puck. Comes out of the crease. Up against the boards near the door of doom. It'll come back now for Caruso. Bailey, 23 on 23 briefly. Another partial line change for the Sirens. Ricocheting off the skates there of Noddle. Trying to enter the zone. Gets around one. Tries to get around a second. Regains possession. Backhanded shovel. Not on target. In front, the puck's free. Couldn't find the stick of Harper for the Inferno. And Sirens clear it out with 2.5 minutes remaining in the period. Georgia McClellan cross for Aspen Cooper. Cooper now. Left-hand side. Garbutt driving towards the net. Sirens had the puck by Caruso. Back now for Winder. Winder in good position. Finds Cockerell. Cockerell fires as a rebound there. Sirens just not close enough. Firing from distance was Lang and saved there by King.
I think Sirens have managed to figure out what they need to do. They're starting to get more shots on net. They are, 9 shots on net compared to Perth's 10. So pretty tight, but Perth still seem to be controlling it a little bit more. 2 minutes left in this first period.
Perth Inferno have certainly spent a lot more time in the attacking zone than the Sirens. Thompson battered down by Winder. Georgia McClellan battling up against the boards. Winder, Cockerell waiting in front of the net. The puck's still free. Firing from distance. Bit of pushy shovey there. Sirens bench appeal for a penalty. Back now for Payne. Minute 40 remaining in the first period. Inferno 1-0. It will come back now. Sirens clearing out their right-hand side. Here's Lang. Right-hand side trying to find Thompson. Thompson now with it. Fires, rebound. But Sasha King wheeled in and reeled in the rebound before anyone else could take advantage.
I think that's a bit of experience showing. So Thompson, she deliberately aimed for that right pad, so where it would rebound would be just out in front. But Sasha King had a little kick to it to make sure that it was never going to get across there.
Salmons now in some traffic. Finds Clark Crompton. Inferno offside, so they have to retreat. Rowe, cross ice pass, finds Scala. Now Salmons trying to enter the zone. York, they're being basically a pest, and it's worked. It will come back now for Scala. 1 minute remaining in the first period. It will come back now for Bailey. Bailey just hoping and praying like Curry has to play on. Back now for Mayer. Mayer now tries to clear it out, just finds the abdomen of Clark Crumpton. Pass in the slot, couldn't find anybody in white for the Inferno. Thompson now with it. Thompson walks in, but was just wide on the completion there. Thompson again. 34 seconds remaining in the period. Directs the puck to Cafe Corner. She'll come off for a change. Back now, Salmons with a bit of time and space. How much speed has she got? Salmon stops, props, finds Malcolm. Malcolm behind the last line of defence. Saved there by Lakari with 18 seconds remaining in the period.
How fast can Sarah Salmons go? Fast.
Fast, very fast.
Really fast. You give her the time and the space, and if she's got the puck, she just goes. I think we've seen a number of times over the years that if she gets a breakaway, she's often putting it in the back of the net.
Noddle. Malcolm firing from distance wide. Noddle with the follow-up attempt was very, very close glove side. It'll come back from McClellan. 5 seconds remaining in the period. Cooper, McClellan under pressure by Newmark. Newmark tries to beat the buzzer. How good was that opportunity as the period comes to an end? Inferno leading 1-0 and leading shots on goal 13-10. Sarah, that period.
Oh my gosh, that period. We could talk a whole period about that period. The lone goal from a power play goal from Perth Inferno did come through Michelle Clark-Crumpton, her 13th for the season. The Sirens did find themselves in the penalty box twice. 50% success on that one. It seems like with Perth that they're a highly skilled team and they haven't lost so many this weekend. They don't. I mean, we know that they don't have Jamie McKenzie and Olivia Del Basso. Sophie Reeder obviously being over at Worlds at the moment. But I think the Sirens are the ones with the more depleted roster. And I think that experience shows on the ice. They've called up some of their reserves, some of their younger players, they're not looking up in their D zone before they're making a pass. And Perth Inferno is right there to do something about it.
And good teams, they make their own luck sometimes. They make their own pace as well.
They absolutely do. But towards the end of that period, the second half of that first period, you can see the Sirens starting to do some things. It's not the usual lines, especially when you don't have Edney there. We did say we're missing a few from this weekend as well, and the reserves have been pulled up, but not the usual lines that they have, and trying to figure out, okay, well, who's going to work with who, and who are you going to slot in to try and fulfill that role. And I think sometimes when you try to remind yourself, okay, well, who's on my line and what you expect, and you don't have that usual person, then how do you need to adapt to it, which we've seen. Sometimes we had shots on net and there hasn't been that support person to take that rebound.
So we'll go and have our intermission. We'll talk to our support people as the Zamboni comes onto the ice. We'll be back in about 10 minutes for the resumption of play. After one period, Saturday night hockey, the Perth Inferno 1 lead the Sydney Sirens 0. Hunter Ice Skating Stadium in Newcastle on a Awabakal land. We'll see you shortly. Welcome back to the Hunter Ice Skating Stadium. What a game we've seen in this first period of Australian Women's Ice Hockey League action. The Perth Inferno leading 1-0 thanks to a Michelle Clark-Crumpton power play goal. Sarah, how did you see the first period and what are we looking forward to in the second period?
I think the Sirens definitely need to step up. Any mistakes they make, Perth are going to jump right on it straight away. When you've got your Michelle Clark-Comptons, your Biz Scullas, your Sarah Salmons, Grace Scarlett, Catherine Bailey, any one of those girls, as soon as they touch the puck, they're going to take control and make good things happen for Perth. The Sirens need to be a little bit more aware and perhaps just a little bit better puck control. Just take a second with that puck on your stick, or even if it's not, just have a look around and see what's going on to make that decision. I think it's the inexperience, especially today, that's showing, unfortunately.
But having said that, how do you learn unless you make mistakes?
Absolutely. I mean, there's, both teams are missing some key players, but there's a reason why Perth is leading the ladder at the moment. I mean, 8 wins from 10 games. They're well out in front on 25 points. The Sirens have 5 wins from their 10. They're on 16, so they would have a little bit to catch up.
But having said, so let's have a look at some head-to-head stats for the first period. 1-0 scored there by Michelle Clark-Crumpton for the Inferno. Shots, Sarah, fairly even?
Fairly even. I think Perth have definitely had more opportunities, I would say.
And penalties were a major factor for the Sirens. Inferno scoring on the power play thanks to Michelle Clark-Crumpton.
Which was a bit debatable, because Ella did make that save and then it kind of just snuck in, but the referee couldn't see it. And then, a little bit of a zebra talk, and then they decided, it's in.
So we're just about underway for the second period. Ella Likari already on the ice, waiting for action to start.
She's usually in the team huddle, so there might be like a sense of eagerness. There could be a little bit of sense of frustration down at her end. There's a couple of posters, a big one with her name that we can see from here. She would be like, there would be a little bit of range of emotions going on, and the circumstances basically, and you've just got to keep battling through those. Hit the next 20 minutes as best you can, then take another break.
Compared to some Inferno Sirens games that I've called, especially one semi-final that I can think of, there was a game at Liverpool where the Inferno scored 9 goals and still lost.
Oh my gosh, I do remember that.
And we're underway, second period. Here's York now entering the zone for the Sirens. Has no support for the moment. Cleared out by Georgia McClellan. Off the stick of Thompson on the way through. Comes back now for Lang. Finds Harper for the Inferno. Salmon's there battling. Centering pass, but finds Brunt. Brunt for the Sirens, trying to clear it out. There's some 2-on-2 action. Brunt against Harper for the Inferno. Likari watchful. Here's Scala. Scala now has some support there. Winding up. The puck went wide there from Georgia McClellan. Back now for Lang in cafe corner. Lang, turnover now for Scala. York does some good work there. Salmon's up against Gatormson. Gatormson now, her next battle is against Cooper. Gatormson was showing some speed as well. Coming back there was good work there by Georgia McClellan, which caused that play to break down. Back now for Rowe for the Sirens on her defensive blue line. Firing in towards corporate corner. Here's Rowe. No action required there by King. Puck in Zamboni corner. Back now for Malcolm looking to clear it out. Malcolm with a nice pass that was too strong for Noddle, and that Sarah will come back for icing.
Gatormson had a good opportunity there, and she's had a few, especially in the first period. But Perth are managing to keep up with her, even if they're not skating backwards. They're managing to get just a stick check on her so that she no longer has control of the puck, and they've done that countless times. Shelby Gatormson needs a bit of support going with her.
She's got 9 goals from 8 games played. And that'll come back now for Rose. Safety first there, Likari, and watching it come back for icing. So she certainly set the Sirens alight, Thompson, with her speed and her pace and her hockey IQ as well. And in the absence of Sarah Edney, will be very, very important for the Sirens and the main go-to weapon.
Absolutely. I mean, like we said, 18 points in 10 games is ridiculous. But absolutely, when you've got somebody like Sarah Edney with you that knows how you play, they've got that North American background, they seem to make it work well together.
Back now for Bailey. Bailey now under pressure by Newmark. Bailey enters the zone. Bailey fires. The puck's free. Lakari got enough out of it. Lakoviak now. Lakoviak under a little bit of pressure, and it was well worked out of the zone by the Sirens over Caruso. Coming back now for Zoe Webb. Zoe Webb almost dispossessed by Newmark. McConey fires wide. And it will come back now. Arps can't keep it in the zone. Sirens have to retreat briefly. It will come back now. Sirens looking to clear it in. Caruso. Battle on the boards near the Sirens penalty boxes, or the Sirens penalty box. Oh, unfortunate, but Lakoviak walks in, drives in. Waikari's there. The puck's still free. Waikari with the secondary save. And it was a clearance that came off the body of Lakoviak, who immediately took the chance. Ella Waikari had to stand up tall, and she did with 2 saves. She
did, and had a little spinorama going on, just a little bit of just losing control. So we see that Gabby Arts basically just handed the puck to Malakoviak, went straight in. Ella makes a big save, loses sight of the puck while she's trying to regain control of her edges, and is able to make that secondary save.
Arps now against Salmons. It'll come back now for Aspen Cooper. Cooper in skate high corner. Centering past. Sirens are there in the slot, trying to clear it out. They do via York now on the right-hand side. York. The pass was good to Katormson, but the puck was fluttering in the air. The puck balloons off the stick there. Katormson against Salmons. Kept in the zone by Arps. Arps now, left-hand side. Katormson. Ricochet almost worked out well for Brunt. Back now for Poppy Noon. Noon now. Clearing it out. Sirens trying to keep the Inferno down here. Lang does a good job of keeping it in the zone. Out of the zone by Cooper. Misses everybody and everything. And that will come back for icing.
I feel like that's more icings in the last 4 minutes than we've had all game.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Maybe it's just this end. I mean, the Sirens didn't have a whole lot of puck control in the first period, and now Perth seem to be doing the same. So maybe it's just what the ice is doing down this end of the ring.
I was going to ask how was the ice when you were doing your walk across it a little bit earlier. Payne, back now Cooper. Cooper clears it out. Payne can't keep it in the zone. Here's Salmons with some time and space. Salmons, left-hand side, have some support now. Stops, props. Trying to get the deflection off Scala, the centering pass on the way through. Scala battling in the corner against Winder. Battle up against the boards. Reinforcements arrive. The puck is stuck there briefly. It'll come back now for Sam Payne. I did see some signs for Sam Payne in Erina. They call it the Payne train. It'll come back now out of the zone, back to neutral ice. Having to turn and chase is Bailey. And it feels like Bailey's been on the ice for every second of this game. And one of 2 defensive pairings for the Inferno. There's Zoe Webb finding Grace Garbutt. Garbutt enters the zone, finds Zoe Webb, gets a shot on Waikari, sticks it away. Back now for Cockrell. Cockrell clearing it out the left-hand side, entering the zone, firing from distance. And Sasha King on the half volley will eat those all afternoon.
There's a lot just going on then, absolutely. Bailey might get her a chance to breathe now, get herself off the ice, get a bit of a line change going on. Cockerell fires one on net on Sasha King, but a very easy one and no threat of any rebound. But there also wasn't that hunger or the speed to go there to chase anything in case it popped out.
What it does do, it gives the Sirens a chance to have a static line change. It hasn't always been a strong point, their line changes today. Here comes Salmons again with some time and space. Salmons entering the zone, gets around Mayer. Waikari was waiting for it on the left-hand post. Battle in Cafe corner. Back now for Salmons, centering in front and in front. The Inferno. Novasis has it. It's 2-0.
It is indeed 2-0. And if it take it back a step, wind it back to how that all even unfolded, you could see Steph Newmarks telling Cleo Mayer, go take Sarah Salmons. She's the one carrying the puck. Let me have the trailer. if we just watch it here and then, Sarah Salmon still manages to get the puck. There is not a whole lot of support for Ella, but a whole lot of white jerseys, and then manages to find the back of the net. Perth are up 2-0.
So back to centre ice we go. 2-0 Inferno now. They scored one in the first period, one in the second. It will come back now for Aspen Cooper. Cooper enters his own, selects power drive, but the Steph Newmark was in the way of that one. Clearing it out, turning, chasing is Georgia McClellan, and that will come back for icing at the other end.
So that second goal has been credited to Novartis. I'm so sorry if I said that wrong. Salmons gets the assist on that one. I thought she was the one that released the shot, but no, she gets the assist.
If it wasn't for Salmons, they wouldn't have been in that position in the first place. Back in towards Cafe Corner. Georgia McClellan first to the puck. We'll come back now for Garbutt. McConey getting the better of that one. Garbutt comes back for attempt number 2. Reinforcements arrive. Caruso now battling against McClellan. McClellan sticked away there by Glycari, left-hand post. Setting up in front. Harper was there and thereabouts, couldn't connect. Georgia McClellan firing from distance. And Sirens clearing it out via Mayer. Mayer enters his own left-hand side, fires but was wide. No action required by King. She just blinked at it at best. Newmark firing, but got the stick of Garbutt on the way through. Cleared out, bit of time and space now. 27 on 27. Arps was first to the puck against Scala, which isn't an easy thing to do. Partial line change for both teams. Here's Arps, and they've gone offside, the Sirens.
I think Arps wasn't quite aware, even though linesperson was calling offside. I think she wasn't aware. She crossed that line a little early. Had her little spinner on a pirouette going on, touched the puck. We have the offside to puck drop outside the blue. Hey, let's switch sides.
Let's bring it closer to the camera.
I can see better from here.
So Brunt against Salmons. Neutral zone face-off closest to the Sirens bench. It comes back now for Zoe Webb. Sister Abby not playing today. Brunt back now for Noddle. Noddle playing with her third A-Dub club. It'll come back Malcolm. Noddle in some traffic. Noddle just squeezes through. Arps is there. And it will come back now for Arps. Arps doing a good job of clearing it out. Katormson off the boards. Katormson now drives in, but Bailey comes across. Centering pass for Brunt. Brunt didn't get as much on that as she would have liked. And King saves on the right-hand post.
And it could have been such a fantastic scoring opportunity then, but Brunt couldn't just get enough on that puck. Just kind of just slid through. It was a wonderful play by Katormson to find her and make that pass. Just couldn't quite connect in the end.
Back now, Arps in the slot there, waiting for it was York. Malcolm now. Here's Noddle. Noddle against Arps again. It'll come back now for Salmons. Salmons against Katormson. That'll be a good battle. Didn't get time and space, and not only has she got speed, but she's got hockey IQ, and she's also can create space for herself. Coming back now for Poppy Noon. It'll come back now for Bailey. Bailey now against York. Bailey just happy to dump it in. That'll register as a shot. Saved there by the stick of Waikari. Back now for York. York. Skate higher corner. Taken over by Garbutt. Centering in front. Lakoviak. The puck's free. And now the puck's under Waikari. And a bit of pushy shovey after the whistle.
And now it's a don't touch my goalie, get off my goalie, get out of the blue paint, this is not your home. But we see the replay on that one, how that starts out. So from the corner, I mean, they tried a few times, there were long range shots. Comes out in front, there's a few white jerseys there trying to sneak it in, but Ayla said, nope, not today.
Not now.
Not right now.
Attacking zone face-off coming up for the Inferno. Shots on goal favouring the Inferno 21-11. It'll come back now. Sirens look to clear it out. Cooper's in good position. Cooper fires, hits the netting well and truly high and wide. May have got a stick on the way through, and that's how to play.
Yes, and I feel like, I'm not sure if I heard, I feel like there was a whistle before that was even fired, but there was a lot of noise going on, and I don't think anyone really knows, but we do have a face-off down in the Sirens defensive end. McConey
against Salmons. Firing Georgia McClellan. She's got a powerful shot on her. Back now for Kelsey Lang. Lang now trying to cross all the lines, enters the zone on the left-hand side. Lang fires, but was wide. King didn't have to do a thing. Newmark now. Newmark's in Bernie corner. Trying to find Caruso. McConey's there as she has been loitering with intent for a lot of her career. She can squeeze in some gaps that other people can't squeeze into. And that, safety first, Laikari. Back now for Payne. Payne, left-hand side, finds Caruso. Caruso controls the puck now. He's got 2 Inferno players with him. McConey's there for some support. Centering, trying to find Newmark, but it goes through to King. Temperature starting to rise in the building, Sarah, and this is good hockey.
It's great hockey. I mean, it's a 2-0 game. It's the most dangerous scoreline you can have during a game. If Sirens can just break through, keep battling, and put one in the net, it can absolutely elevate the game and switch things around. But taking long shots as soon as you cross the blue line is not the way to beat Sasha King.
Attacking zone face-off. Garbutt there. Inferno look to clear it out. Zoe Webb uses the wall as a friend. Malcolm clears it out. Noddle. It'll come back now for Garbutt. Garbutt battling against Rowe. We've got a penalty coming. High sticking the call. Penalty box door will be opening. And Sirens for the first time this afternoon will be going to the power play as Malcolm sits for 2.
So we were just saying, if Sirens can just manage to put one away past Sasha King, it could change a lot of things. So again, missing a few players, but we still have Guttormson, Lang, Newmark, McConey and Brunt on the ice. They are still very effective players and can make things work.
Sirens second in the league on the power play, and Inferno on the penalty kill, also second in the league, so this should be an even battle. Firing from distance, the puck was free. Brunt there was digging, hoping that the puck would come out, but well saved there by King.
And that's the way they're going to break through the brick wall of Sasha King, is to give it to someone like Lang or Newmark, who absolutely can have a powerhouse shot, and then have somebody in front get that rebound, but it has to be a low shot for it to be effective.
McConey against Salmons there, coming back now for Lang. Lang, Thompson firing across. McConey couldn't connect, neither could Brunt. Back now for Lang. Thompson left-hand circle. Across ice for Newmark. Newmark fires, hits the iron. Brunt there, cleared out by Salmons. And Bailey was there and thereabouts as well. Thompson now, minute 20 of the Sirens power play, their first of the evening. Back now for Lang. Bailey clears it out, sends Newmark back. Salmons will come off for a break, as will Scala. Left-hand side. Have Sirens seen this? Thompson now with it. Thompson up against Bailey. It'll come back now for Lang. 1 minute of the power play remaining. Thompson winds up, fires big enough rebound there. There was about 3 or 4 bites for the cherry for both teams, and well saved by King.
They did have a number of opportunities and just couldn't quite connect. And even on that one, a big shot gets the rebound. The puck's just out in front. The girls are digging, but Sasha manages to just pounce right on it. 50
seconds remaining of the Sirens power play. Georgia McClellan eating valuable seconds there in front of the Don Champagne stand. And it'll come back now for Steph Newmark. Newmark now, left-hand side, finds Lang. Lang looks to enter the zone. It's got Thompson and McConey and Brunt attacking the net. No harm in the end. It'll come back now. Clearing it out now is Garbutt. Brunt and Lang almost collide. Garbutt now eating valuable seconds. Back now for McClellan. McClellan fires it in, and that will go clear. No icing on the penalty kill. 14 seconds of power play remaining for the Sirens. Here's Lang looking to enter the zone, but has Salmons to contend with. Sirens were in the middle of a change. Brunt and Winder. It'll come back for Lang. Power play over. Malcolm comes back into the action. Georgia McClellan has been impressive this game, and the puck deflects out of play.
I think Sirens did a pretty decent effort with that power play, but you can see the girls, they stayed on there for the entirety of that power play and then some, and they're coming to the bench. They need a little bit of a break. Sit down, girls. Get some water into you, because you're going to get back out of there again soon.
Well, the last time they played in Erina, the first power play unit would stay on for about 80 seconds. Here's Salmons now. Salmons, 2-on-1 situation. Salmons gets around one. Salmons walks in, tries to find Scala. Salmons still with the puck. Scala up against Arps. Arps comes down. In good position in the end, Arps recovering after the fall. Here comes Arps now, left-hand side for the Sirens up against Bailey. She has some support there. Cockrell now with it. Zoe Webb centering pass just past the stick there of Sam Winder. It'll come back now. Here's Salmons again. Salmons entering the zone. Drops it off now for Scala. Scala 2-on-1, almost 3-on-1. Zoe Webb takes over. Webb now tries to fire but just finds the body of a Sirens player who looks to clear it out. And that will come all the way back down. 8:20 remaining in the second period. 2-0 Inferno. And that'll come back now for Malcolm. Battle there with Rowe. The puck balloons and goes out of play.
I think the thing to also remember is that Ella Lakari is originally from Perth. And she did play a season with Perth Inferno. So the bulk of this team, she does know. She knows them well. She knows what they can do. So she's aware of what she needs to do.
Back now, clearing it out. The Sirens. Georgia McClellan on the blue line for the Inferno. Noddle briefly. Here's Aspen Cooper. Cooper fires, deflected off Thompson on the way through. Sirens look to clear it out their right-hand side. Kept down here. Grace Garbutt now centering pass. Couldn't quite connect with Noddle. Noddle, I think, has been described as the ultimate human of the A-Dub. Everybody loves her. It will come back now for Georgia McClellan. Backhanded shovel. It'll come back for Cleo Mayer. Mayer at her defensive end. Pressured there by Noddle and Malcolm. There's a two you wouldn't want to come up with as you're trying to clear it out of your defensive end. Here's Mayer now. Mayer enters his own, fires it into the big Perth Inferno logo.
So I was saying, little bit of a little pushy shovey has happened. We were saying before that long range shots on Sasha are not going to get through. Cleo Mayer did take a shot, but it was straight to the logo. So an easy save for Sasha. She had two other players that would have been ready to pick up the rebound if only she had shot to the pads.
I was just about to say that. We compare that to a shot from Thompson that was aimed directly at the pads a little bit earlier.
To force that rebound.
Back now, Newmark, battling, out of play again.
So we were talking about Marina Noddle before. Started with Brisbane, Goannas at the time. Went across to Adelaide, and this is, of course, before Perth Inferno was a thing. And as soon as Perth Inferno became a thing, played for them. She has over 80 A-Dub games under her belt.
And she's been around for a long, long time and still competing at the highest level in this league. Coming back now for Salmons. Salmons enters the zone. And just imagine how many games she'd have, Lakoviak, because some of those earlier A-Dub seasons were a lot shorter than they are now, with only 4 teams originally. Payne's in a massive battle in the slot. Bailey had some pressure as well against Caruso. Lakoviak, backhander shovel by Newmark, kept in the zone by Bailey. Bailey selects power drive, wide of Lakari, and it will come back now for Zoe Webb. Some soccer skills on display there by Kelsey Lang. Back now for Caruso. Caruso enters the zone for the Sirens on the left-hand side. Fires, deflected high and wide and handsomely out of play by Sasha King.
So indeed, when it was 4 teams in the league, it was a 12-game season and everyone made playoffs, so everyone made finals. There were a couple of years that there were 3 games in the finals that you would play depending on how you placed. But now you get 20 games in your regular season. And of course, the stats coming from Elite Prospects does have some missing information, which is why I say 80 plus, because it's more than that.
It's one of those asterisks that some of the players have next to their name. Back now for Garbutt, who doesn't have any asterisks on it against the name of Elite Prospects. Well kept in the zone by Arps, just happy to dump it in. Coming back for Georgia McClellan. It's Kate Harper. Ricocheted. And it will come back to, here's a foot race now between Scala and Arps. 27 on 27. Clearing out, centering pass to no one. Finds some support on the right-hand side via Cockrell, who last played in the A-Dub from memory in 2017 before this season with the Sirens. Garbutt fires, saved there. The puck's still free. The puck's free. Harper follows up. desperation in the slot. Waikari was sprawled. There was another fire for the Sirens. Gabby Arp sprawled as well, and the Sirens keep their net dry.
If everyone just jumps on it, surely the referee has to blow the whistle.
Yes, at some stage.
So we see there's the shot on net. Ella fumbled a little bit, made the save, but fumbled, couldn't quite find where the puck was. Gabby Arps decides to join her on the ice. I mean, a hot day like today, I would be doing the same.
There was a party at Ella's place. The Inferno players weren't invited.
Maybe after tomorrow, she can invite them over. Get through these games and then, all right, friends, come around.
But for some context, outside when we arrived, it was 40-ish degrees outside here in Warners Bay. Much better in the Hunter Ice Skating Stadium and a great crowd Saturday night hockey. Here's Malcolm now. Ebony Brunt. Brunt now clearing it out. Zoe Webb. Off the stick of Brunt on the way through. Thompson fires. Thompson scores. Sirens calls a turnover. Thompson powers it and drives it home. First goal of the evening for the Sirens. Inferno 2-1.
And that's all they were waiting for. I mean, just a little mistake by Zoe Webb. Thompson just gets in the way. As we just see it here, she's trying to clear it, but Thompson gets it. Full control, no hesitation, fires it straight onto the net. The brick wall has a hole in it now. It's a 2-1 game.
Right player in the right place at the right time with the right shot. And the crowd has come alive.
It's all we were waiting for.
Absolutely. Back now, clearing it out. Intercepted there, but gone offside. The Inferno.
This will definitely lift the players in a big way, the Sirens at least. We said it was dangerous to have a 2-0 lead. It's now only a 1-goal difference. The Sirens have lifted. They can easily just go and score another goal.
Back now for Cooper. Entering the zone, McClellan. Back now for Lang. Lang in cafe corner. It will come back now, Caruso. Battling against McClellan. Caruso. McClellan firing, saved by Waikari. The puck's still free, and then Ella just dives from distance to grab the puck and to freeze it.
Garbutt doesn't seem to be too happy about that.
Doesn't look like she minds a chat.
No, not today. Maybe over a cup of tea later.
Attacking zone face-off, McConey against Garbutt. Caruso up against McClellan. Lukoviak. One player I haven't seen notice on the ice a little bit for the Inferno, Michelle Clark-Crumpton.
You're right.
I haven't seen her for a while.
She's definitely here, I think.
She's here. She scored the first goal.
She's here. I think she's still here. Maybe having a little break.
We'll keep an eye out.
Or we're just not seeing her. I can't see the bench from this end.
You're closest to the Sirens bench, so you've got a great view of the Sirens bench.
I do. They look fantastic.
But
hello, friends.
But we're not close enough to the Inferno bench to be able to see from here. Back now, Bailey trying to clear it out. Uses the boards, uses the glass. Harper looks to clear it out and does. Has some support now here. Scala 3-on-1. Still managed to get a shot on and a follow-up.
I feel like Ella's having a little bit of trouble just with general tracking. She's seeing where that puck is, but then just the rebound control, it's fumbling a little bit. And she's not immediately able to just smother it, get her glove onto it or absorb it into her chest.
Attacking zone face-off one there by Salmons for the Inferno. Poppy Noon. Big long pass, found nobody in the end. It will come back now for Webb. Webb up against York. Bailey, centre ice. Noon is back there. Clearing it out, backdoor escape route. Comes back now for Harper against York. York trying to clear it out. Salmon, Webb firing. That was a good attempt there by Scala. Not sure if Webb intended it as a pass or a shot, but Scala made it look good. And that will come all the way back down. Thompson in hot pursuit here. Webb comes back. Bailey comes back. Thompson with the puck. York camped in front of the King net. Thompson with an air swing. Webb gets the better of that one. Arps now with it. Arps under some pressure. Happens just to fire it in, giving her team an opportunity to change. Thompson battling. Back now for Salmons. Salmons clears it out. Intercepted there by Cockrell. Malcolm was the intended target. It will come back now for Sam Winder. Got herself a goal in Erina. Entering the zone now on the left-hand side. Trying to fire, but Bailey was there. Kept in the zone well. Bouncing puck there for Rowe. In the slot, Winder. Bailey. No, won't be a hand pass in the defensive zone. Cleared out. Here's Noddle. Noddle enters the zone, or enters the attacking zone briefly. Georgia McClellan with the backhanded shovel comes back now for Mayer. Mayer clears it, tries to clear it out, but can't. Out of the zone. Aspen Cooper has to come back. Cross ice pass for Noddle. Noddle with it now. Enters the zone on the left-hand side. Pressured there by Cockrell. Noddle and Cockrell. Cockrell gets a better one of that one. Mayer. Thompson centering, trying to find Sam Winder. Here's an opportunity, has got some support, fires, and a save there by King.
You're saying before she managed to get a goal in the last home round in Erina. She managed to get a shot off there too, and a nice strong shot. Not bad for someone who's usually a goalie.
Yeah, member of the goalie union.
Coming to the bench with smiles. Good attempt.
But as some people know and some people don't know, you can't have import goalies in the A-Dub.
For good reason.
For very good reasons. So Winder is a goalie who can also play forward, and that's not easy. Not everyone does that. It'll come back now for Newmark. Newmark against Webb. It'll come back now for Bailey. Bailey leading by example, the Perth captain. Bailey, cross-ice pass now for Webb. Zamboni corner. Zamboni out in just under 90 seconds. It will come back now for Lang, Kelsey Lang. Lang now has some support in McConey. McConey pressured by Lukoviak. Bailey looks to clear it out for the Inferno. Bailey now looks to cross all the lines. Firing like Kari. There's a rebound there. The puck's free. Scala, minute to go in the period. Back now for Bailey. Scala pressured there by Lang. Newmark clears it out left-hand side, 45 seconds. Bailey. Scala. Scala, here's danger. Scala walks in. Scala scores like Kari was there and thereabouts but couldn't stop. Here's Scala, and it's 3-1 with 40 seconds left in the second period.
Biz Scala is someone who consistently every season scores or manages to get over 20 points in a season. That's her 20th points for this season already. She was sitting on 19, now she's hit 20.
And she wasn't even here for the first round. This is game number 9 for her. Her 7th goal of the season, 13 assists and now 20 points.
Consistently over 20 every season she's played.
Back now for Cooper. Back now for Brunt, 35 seconds remaining in the period. Not ideal timing from a Sirens point of view. Sirens looking to keep the Inferno down there. Harper has other ideas, tapped on the way through, no icing. It will come back for the Sirens who need to clear it out. 18 seconds remaining in the period. Scala's there and thereabouts. Sirens need to clear it out. Ups, go straight up the middle. Thompson now, 7 seconds. On the stick of Georgia McClellan, rather. And Grace Garbutt just hits it into next week to end the period.
It could have, obviously not ideal for the Sirens with what they were hoping to do. It kind of just brought the mood. The atmosphere has just kind of taken a little bit of a hit in the Hunter Ice Skating Stadium. I think they were quite content with only the 1 goal difference, and now they've got to chase a little bit more. Talking to Inferno's interim head coach, Kai, he was saying that for this game, they weren't going to take it lightly, despite them sitting on top of the ladder and the Sirens being in 4th, because they knew how dangerous they could be. But they really did want to get that first goal to set the tone. And now they've just stretched it out that little bit more.
And we should also mention, talking of that, the last time that these two teams met earlier on in the season in Perth, it was the home opener weekend for the Inferno, and the Inferno won both games 6-4 on the Saturday and 5-2 on the Sunday, but they were closer than those scores may indicate.
Absolutely, and even right now we have 30 goals credited to Perth Inferno. They've certainly taken a whole lot more shots than that, but 30 that hit the net. Versus 20 from the Sirens, which is also not too bad. So in that second period, Novartis scored a goal to take Perth to the 2-0 lead. Guttormson responded to take it to 2-1, and then Bailey, it was Scala. I'm sure it was Scala.
I'm sure it was Scala
credited
too.
with Bailey, so that's going to get corrected on the score sheet. To take us end of the second period, it is a 3-1 game. Sirens are going to go have a little bit of a think. They know they can put the puck in the back of the net, but they need to make sure that they actually do it.
They absolutely do. So we'll have a tactic talk of our own, and we'll see you in about 10 minutes for the resumption of play. Australian Women's Ice Hockey League action from Hunter Ice Skating Stadium. At the end of the second period, the Perth Inferno 3 lead the Sydney Sirens 1. We'll be back in about 10 minutes for the resumption of play. See you then. Welcome back to Hannah Ice Skating. And Sarah, what's going on in front of us?
Good old-fashioned chucker puck. We've had some, well, you can see where the pucks are on the ice. Some have been so close that
one wasn't.
Rolling away. This has been fun to watch. Some kids, grown-ups, parents. Charlotte Rose's mum gave it a go. She actually hit the cone. Nikita's dad gave it a go, knocked a puck to it.
I wasn't sure where Mrs. Rowe was going to fire that one because she went overarm.
Yeah, but it's technique, whatever works. Oh, little buddy, good effort. There's a whole line of kids just wanting to do this. I actually not sure what you win if you hit the cone or if it's the last person standing.
But having said that, it's been a great crowd. Saturday night hockey here, and we have tomorrow morning bright and early Sunday between these two teams as well. So it's a great Saturday night out. I know that there's some hockey versions in the building. My friend Eric from work, there's another one.
Hello, other Eric from work.
He's over there, and I'll talk to him after the match and see how he's enjoying the action.
Absolutely. It is for some of these kids well past their bedtime. Congratulations to our winner of Chuck the Puck.
What do you mean? It's past my bedtime.
It's so past my bedtime. I didn't even get to have a nana nap today.
I had a great one, but I didn't have the fan on hard enough.
But what a great day to spend inside an ice rink. It has been a hot one today. So now that we're clearing Chuck the Puck, and now we can get back to what we're actually here for.
Hockey. So let's have a look at some stats after the second period of action where the Inferno lead 3-1. Shots on favouring the Inferno 30-20. The Sirens did get a power play in that period. 2 penalties to 1 against the Sirens. The Inferno converted their first power play with Michelle Clark-Crumpton, and the Sirens haven't converted theirs. Players will be back onto the ice shortly. Sarah, what do you make of shots at the moment? Inferno 10 shots ahead of the Sirens.
Well, I think they've definitely had more scoring opportunities and more threatening shots, more danger shots. The Sirens seem to just, well, it depends on the player. Some of them are firing it on net straight away and chasing rebounds. Others are trying to just let me just go and see what happens with it. And maybe they don't have somebody there for the rebound. There have been some close situations. There's been some good passes, but just trying to connect with it and put something behind it to actually get a quality shot on net. We've seen that they can break through Sasha King's brick wall. The mood was good when it was 2-1, but then Perth manages to, we're certain it was Bizscala, managed to score that goal right towards the end of that period to take it to 3-1, and it kind of just reduced the mood, the atmosphere, like the buzz that was going on here in the stadium just came down a little bit, which is not how you want to go into the change room.
Especially with 40 seconds remaining, you know that you've done well to keep the Inferno to that score, and then all of a sudden they've added an extra one.
And now they've got 2 more to chase. We talked earlier about the scorelines when Sydney were in Perth, and there wasn't a whole lot between it, but there's only a 2-goal difference, and we have 20 minutes for the third period underway.
So here we go, third period action, Australian Women's Ice Hockey League. Lang fires and sprays it wide, no action required there by King. Scala causes a turnover out of the zone, unfortunately, for the Sirens. Fire front. Here's Salmons now. Salmons trying to get around Lang. Salmons holds the puck, has Scala for company, and Harper and Cooper. And we're going to keep an eye and see if we can see Michelle Clark-Crumpton as well. Back now for Salmons. Salmons clearing it out for Georgia McClellan. Will fatigue be a factor in this period? We'll have a look and see. Salmons now clears it only as far as Lang. Scala now trying to attack the net. Scala, backhanded shovel, trying to find Garbett in the slot. It'll come back now for Harper against Payne. In front, cleared out there by Caruso. It will come back now for Zoe Webb. Sarah, what'd you see?
I do not see MCC.
Okay. So we'll go back now and we'll see Grace Garbett with the puck, centering from Malcolm. Could convert there. Mayer's back there. Garbett Garbutt up against the boards, corporate corner. It's a great view from that box. It'll come back now. Noddle was in there as well. The puck needs to continue to move, and it is moving to the satisfaction of our officials at the moment. Well, I think they've just about had enough of this one though. Puck's barely moving. Extra support comes in. Back now for Bailey. So we've just had news that we'll share in a moment. Cleared out by Newmark. So Michelle Clark-Crompton out of the game. She won't be back tonight with an upper body injury. Back for Noddle. Back now for Bailey. I knew I hadn't seen her for a good reason. So
well, not a good reason.
Yeah.
We do hope she's okay.
Exactly. We know she'd love to be out there if she could.
100%.
Back now for Caruso. Caruso entering the zone for the Sirens. Firing high, wide, deflected off the glove. It ballooned in the air. Back now for Bailey. Bailey with it now. Now they try and clear it out via Salmons. Salmons uses the wall. Salmons entering the zone. Salmons, some desperation in defence. Molly Lukoviak was there as the trailer. It was desperation players sliding along the ice for the Sirens. Big shot there from McClellan. Hits the skates of Lukoviak on the way through. Sirens clear it out. It will come back now for Georgia McClellan. Georgia McClellan, left-hand side, finds Salmons, finds Lukoviak. Lukoviak enters the zone. Scala, and scooped up there by Lakari,
who had a little bit of a stick tap, just making sure that they weren't welcome there. There was a nice play earlier. I actually thought when Sarah Salmons passed that puck across the slot to Molly Lukoviak, to me it looked like it hit inside a post and then popped out. But I'm not a video ref or a ref, so they would have had a better sight on it.
Georgia McClellan now working it out of her own zone. McClellan finds Scala. Scala pressured. That's good work there. It'll come back now. Almost a turnover created by Cockerell. Harper. Poppy Noon was sweating on that pass. Here's Scala now. Scala entering the zone, firing. Deflected high and wide by Lakari and cleared out of danger by the Sirens. Back to neutral ice we go. 16-12 remaining in the third period. 3-1 Inferno. Funky bounce off the boards. Harper in good position in the end for the Inferno. It'll come back now for Garbutt rather. Garbutt clears it off before she comes off for a change. Zoe Webb injects herself. Hasn't had a bad game, Zoe Webb. Back now for Salmons. Salmons battling up against the boards. Reinforcements arrive, including Malcolm. Gabby Arps back there for the Sirens, looking to clear it out. Finds Noon. Funky bounce off the boards. Now they can clear it out, the Sirens. Here's Katormson. Katormson's off to the races, has possession of the puck now, looking for the wraparound. Now looking for some support. Here's Brunt. Brunt fires. The puck's free, and Brunt was millimetres away from nailing that, but the Inferno cleared it out. It will come back now for Bailey with the aerial alley-oop. Looking for a change for a team. Payne. It will come back now for York. Novasis got herself a goal earlier. Right place at the right time. Sometimes it pays to hang out in the dirty areas. Here's Salmons now. Salmons trying to get around one. The puck's free. There was a rebound there. Cooper regains possession. That could have been dangerous if it went directly on the stick of Cooper. Now Sirens can clear it out the right-hand side. 14:40 remaining. Payne has some support on the right-hand side. There's a penalty coming, York. It will be a power play coming up for the Sirens.
Indeed it will. That was a big hook right in front of referee. I always get her name wrong. I know it's Sarah. It's
Sarah Kinnaman.
Kinnaman. See, I always get it wrong. The Sarah part, I will remember.
Oh, yeah.
That I always know.
Even though she spells it differently to you.
Well, apparently I spell it wrong.
Aspen Cooper sitting in the penalty box. Sarah Kinnaman actually played for the Goannas.
She did. Hails from Queensland. Great to see females with the stripes, with the red armbands in this league.
Back now, Gatormson. Sirens on the power play, out of the zone. Kelsey Lang. Aspen Cooper sitting 2 minutes for hooking. Here's Lang, Sirens, second power play of the evening. Coming back now for Newmark. Newmark, left-hand side, Gatormson now. Gatormson fires, saved there by King. McConey was waiting for the doorstep rebound, but there was none.
If the shot had gone to the pads, stayed on the ice, there would definitely been a rebound, and Kath McConey definitely would have connected with it. Whether it would have gone into the net or not is a different story.
Minute 40 remaining of the Sirens power play. McConey against Scala. Cleared out Georgia McClellan out of the zone. Newmark has to turn and chase. Sarah Salmons against Lang. Salmons first to the puck. No icing on the penalty kill anyway. It'll come back now for Newmark. Newmark right-hand side. Here's McConey entering the zone. Pressured. Trying to find Lang on the trailer. And there's another penalty coming, so we'll have 5 on 3. Waikari gets the message to come off now. Extra attacker coming on. Delayed penalty for the Sirens. Extra attacker on Thompson. Big collision there with Lakoviak at centre ice. Here's Lang. McConey. Delayed penalty for the Sirens coming up. 5 on 3 opportunity shortly. Back now for Thompson. And that will come all the way back down. The Sirens with another power play opportunity coming up when the Inferno touch up. Entering the zone now, Newmark. And that penalty will now be enforced. 39 seconds of 5 on 3 coming up, Sarah, for the Sirens.
The interesting thing here is that we've got McClellan heading to the box for a holding penalty. But then Gatormson came on the ice. Molly Lakoviak collided with her. Molly took a look up and saw referee arm up, and she thought, oh, come on, this isn't for me. There could definitely have been 2 penalties there.
So 5 on 3 power play for the Sirens for the next 35 seconds. Here's Arps now, top of the umbrella. Arps, cross ice pass for Payne, firing, deflected there by King. 25 seconds of the 5 on 3. For Aspen Cooper will come back. And notable for the Inferno, both players in the box are defenders.
When you're already have a depleted bench or roster for the weekend, that's not what you want.
Here's Bailey now, one of the remaining D. Lakoviak can play forward and defence. Inferno get one back. Good soccer skills there by Payne. Cooper straight back into the action. 5 on 3 power play now for the Sirens for the next minute 15. Here's Salmons now entering the zone. Salmons 3 on 1. Salmons still in possession. Cooper at the front of the net. Finds Cooper now. Has no support apart from Salmons. Finds Salmons. Salmons fires. The puck still free. Cooper looking to regain possession. The referee has lost sight with 55 seconds of the power play remaining for the Sirens, but the Inferno on the attack there.
That was a fantastic shot that was taken. Ella comes up with a big save, as we'll see here. Nobody on Salmons coming through, right through the middle. Ella makes a big save. The puck is actually loose, and that was what Cooper was debating because the referee was on the opposite post and lost sight of the puck, so had to blow the whistle.
Back now for Lang. 45 seconds of the Sirens power play. They're at the wrong end briefly. Lang back now for Gatormson, who can change that in 2.5 milliseconds. Coming back now, entering the zone. Sirens, 38 seconds of power play. Out of the zone, Lang. Sirens have to retreat. Back now for Gatormson. Gatormson enters the zone briefly. Left-hand side, just dumping the puck, trying to find McConey. Aspen Cooper clears it out, kept in the zone by Lang. Lang's passed to no one, and that will come back to Gatormson, who has to come back. 15 seconds of power play remaining for the Sirens, turning it over for Cooper, despite the attentions there of Brunt. Salmons now, McConey, Bailey, cross-ice pass, 5 seconds of power play. Aspen Cooper fires and was wide. So the power play just about over. Here's Brunt now with an opportunity pursued there by Cooper. Power play over, back to 5 on 5 hockey, but for how long? Aspen Cooper up against the boards against Brunt. The puck flung out of the zone of the Perth Inferno defensively. Back now for Gabby Arps. Arps now behind her own net. Has some help now from Gatormson. and also Newmark. Now goes straight. Has some support. Finds Katormson now. Katormson just happy to dump it in and she'll come off for a change. Yeah, we'll come back now for Sam Winder. Up against Zoe Webb. Now Grace Garbutt. Cafe corner. Webb getting the better one of that one. Now Inferno can clear it out. The 3-1 lead with just over 10 minutes remaining in the third and final period. Here's Lukoviak, dangerous. 3-on-1 situation. Back now for Georgia McClellan, clears it out despite the attentions of Cockrell. Back now for Winder. Just kept in the zone by Zoe Webb. Poppy Noon. Funky bounce. Back now for Salmons. Salmons doesn't need a lot of time and space. Rebound there, the puck's free, cleared out. It was well cleared out of the zone by Poppy Moon. And flung back in, Arps, Salmons. It's got Malcolm for company. Pressured there. Walking in, oh, the puck was just wide of the net. Salmons there with another opportunity. Not all fires from point blank range. Back up against the boards, Malcolm, Arps, pressured there by Malcolm. Malcolm gets the better of that one, in three. Cockrell needs to clear it out. Just takes the time to clear it out. Backhanded shovel, clears it back into centre ice. Zoe Webb for the 1 millionth time it seems, enters the zone, left-hand side for the Inferno. Well cleared up by Arps. Malcolm, it'll come back now for Salmons. Up against Arps, 9 minutes remaining. Inferno 3-1. Cleared out, Zoe Webb, partial line change, Cockrell comes off, Katormson comes on. Back now for Webb, got Bailey for some support, firing it out. Now they can clear it out via Noddle. Noddle, York does enough. Noddle, clearing it. It'll come back now for Charlotte Rowe, has York for company. Rowe fires, but Bailey was there. Shin pads were enough. Battle in the corner there, skate high corner. It'll come back now for Scala. Tapped on Garbutt, back for Scala. Scala wide. Ikari can't reach it, it was too far away from her. Grace Garbutt, corporate corner, kept in the zone by Cooper. Back for Garbutt, centering pass, didn't find anybody or anything. Harper was the closest Inferno player. Back now, Georgia McClellan. Harper. Rowe, Katormson. Katormson down the left-hand side. Katormson trying to find York, but was wide. Finds Cooper. Cooper back now for Mayer. Mayer centering, finds Cooper. Good work, York and McConey. McConey now has Katormson screaming down the centre, and scooping it up there was Sasha King. Good pressure applied there by Cooper as well.
Good pressure indeed. With McConey with that shot, didn't quite get it to where it needed to be, just kind of onto the glove. Whereas, as we saw before with Sirens had done, they were aiming for the right pad of Sasha in that scenario, so your trail can come and pick up that rebound right in front of the net.
I wonder if McConey knew how fast Katormson was coming down the centre.
Yeah, try and make that pass, get the one-timer.
Back for Salmons now, trying to clear it out of the zone. Caruso's there, McConey's there, Bailey's there. Bailey against Caruso. Finds Lukoviak briefly. Lang up against the blue line. It'll come back now for Bailey. McConey centering. Newmark in the slot. Inferno clearing it out by Lukoviak. Lukoviak. Sam Payne now with it. Up against Salmons. McConey now. Zamboni corner. Just under 7 minutes remaining in the third and final period. Lang leaves the puck behind her briefly. Lukoviak. Well trapped there by Newmark. Newmark straightening the attack. Finds Zoe Webb. Webb against McConey. Here's McConey. Was good pressure there by McConey against Webb. McConey still with it. Centering pass. Firing. Lang in the slot. Saved there by King.
Comes up with the save when she needs to. That could have very easily been a goal for the Sirens. They've started putting a lot more pressure onto Sasha, controlling the puck down that end, making it work. Some passes, finds somewhere in the slot. Newmark takes the shot but just can't quite get it past.
Shots on favouring the Inferno 34-25. King there has to stretch, and she does. And we'll have another attacking zone face-off for the Sirens.
While she gets a little breather, she's been fantastic with her rebound control. Just even when it is hitting her pads, she knows exactly where it's going or where to direct it to, which is certainly helping.
Back now, Georgia McClellan tries to clear it out of the zone itself and does a good job. Finds Marina Noddle. Noddle gets around one. Noddle tries to fire. It ended up just dribbling through to Lakari, who held. I think she wanted a better shot on that Marina Noddle.
I feel like she just had a little tap on the stick, and it was enough to just throw her just that little bit off balance, off control, to be able to get the shot that she was after.
But still a good result. An attacking zone face-off coming up for the Inferno. Cockerell now, 2-on-1. Cockerell against Cooper. Cooper's in good position. Cooper in cafe corner, up against Cockerell, up against the boards. Physicality there. Back now, Malcolm clears it out to centre ice. Gabby Arps with it. Tries to find Sam Winder, doesn't. Georgia McClellan. Backdoor escape route, finds Aspen Cooper on the other side. Centering, finds Katormson briefly. And we'll come back for the Sirens with 5.5 minutes remaining in the third and final period. The Sirens down by 2 goals. Cooper, wide of Laikari, just controls the rebound, finds the stick of Arps on the way through. Arps clears it out, Zamboni corner, finds Katormson with it. Katormson centering, has some support with York. York, Brunt attacking the net. Centering, but couldn't find a Siren. Katormson with it now. Katormson still with it. Has Rowe on the blue line. Has York in front and Brunt in the high slot. The puck's free. Cleared out by Harper. Siren still in possession. Here's Rowe, top of the umbrella. Thinks about a shot. Can't get a shot on. Garbutt back now for Bailey. Bailey clears it out. Zoe Webb under some pressure. Does well. Clears it out for Scala. Scala was a bit too hot. Here's Sarah Salmons, and Laikari came out. Attacked the puck very well and holds.
And that's where it gets a little bit dangerous, that Sarah Salmons just sneaks on through. I think Charlotte Rowe was just thinking, oh yeah, no, that puck's just going to travel to Ella. She's got this. Had no idea that Salmons was right there. And then, whoops, I got to go and put the accelerator on. Back
now for Bailey. Bailey and Laikari scoops, and Salmons, as she usually is, very close to the puck when it's in front of the net. We'll have another attacking zone face-off for the Inferno. 4:34 remaining. Inferno 3-1, leading shots 35-25.
And that's exactly why Salmons is leading in the point scoring at the moment at 25 points, because she's always just there.
Bailey fires, Laikari saves, had some traffic in front. Liz Scala was waiting in front. Those ones aren't easy to see always as a goalie, are they, Sarah?
They're not, and especially right off the face-off when you're just trying to set your feet. Where are you trying to get to?
Here's Katormson now with a bit of time and space. Katormson against Zoe Webb. Katormson, the puck balloons high. It almost ends up at the cafe corner. It will come back now for Scala. Scala clears it out, back door. Now they clear it out, the Inferno down their right-hand side. Kept in the zone via Katormson. The pass was a bit wide, finds York. York finds Salmons. Here's some danger. Salmons, though, the Sirens have to come back fast, and they do. Salmons just dumps it in, looks for a change. Laikari comes to the top of the blue paint. Entering the zone now. Just shoves her off the puck. Katormson there with a big battle now against Garbutt. Katormson, 11 on 11. It'll come back now for Cooper. McConey. That was almost a tackle there in the end. No arms in the air. Back now for the Sirens. It'll come back for Katormson, top of the umbrella. Gets around one. Katormson fires. Doesn't make it through to King. Katormson again. In some traffic. Lukoviak was there. McClellan was there. Garbutt was there. And it will come back now. Katormson coming off for a change. Lang against Lukoviak. It will come back now for Cooper. 3 minutes exactly remaining. Inferno up by 2 goals. And that will come all the way back for icing. An attacking zone face-off coming up for the Sirens.
What a great effort as well. It seems like it's almost a battle between Thompson and Salmons. Whoever's getting the puck first, they're just going to go off with it, try and make something fancy happen at either end. It was good battles, just try and do whatever they can just to keep putting the pressure up.
McConey against Garbutt. Up, selects power drive. That's high and wide.
And we have seen a bunch of those power drive shots in this game. Some of them are hitting targets, some of them are not, some of them are producing rebounds, sometimes they're being pounced on.
So Inferno now, 2:49 remaining in the third and final period. Attacking zone face-off again for the Sirens. Inferno look to clear it out. Kept in the zone by Caruso for the Sirens. Coming back now, centering McConey in the slot. Inferno have got some time to clear it out. Salmons had a pocket pick by Newmark. McConey, Newmark couldn't get around Bailey. Caruso fires now, but was wide. Newmark trying to dig in, and Sasha King waiting for it on the right-hand post.
I always like watching the McConey-Newmark combo. They've done so well together as a pairing. I say a pairing on the same line this season. They've got young Caruso with them, mentoring along the way, trying to find her place there as well.
McConey and Newmark got them to OT in Erina against the Rush for the first game on the Saturday. Here's Salmons again. Salmons enters the zone. Salmons, Noddle just couldn't get a shot on, eating valuable seconds off the clock anyway. Newmark doesn't have time to waste. Off the skates of Malcolm on the way through. Newmark battling Poppy Noon there as well. Valuable seconds off the clock. It'll come back now for Bailey. And that will come back for icing. An attacking zone face-off coming up for the Inferno.
So while the Inferno can get some fresh legs out there, as we see Garbutt and Scala coming on, and McClellan as well, and Cooper, and number 2, who is nameless,
is Harper.
There you go, Harper. Fresh legs out there for that face-off.
Fresher legs at this time of the game. Coming back now, Caruso battling with McClellan. Harper. It'll come back now for Poppy Noon. Trying to deflect it out. Arps with it. 90 seconds remaining. Inferno at the right end. Sirens trying to clear it out. Here's an opportunity. Garbutt centering. Harper, the puck's free. McConey clears it after the rebound. Cooper does well to keep it in the zone. Cooper fires from distance. Garbutt was sitting on this doorstep. Newmark tries to scoop it out. Soccer skills again from Aspen Cooper. The Sirens have 1 minute to get 2 goals to send us to OT. Scala right underneath the central commentary position. It will come back now for McConey. McConey now leaves the puck behind. 50 seconds remaining. Centering pass on the right-hand side. Here's Kelsey Lang up against Salmons, dropping it off for York. Inferno via Salmons, 35 seconds remaining. Salmons controlling the puck up against Brunt. Sirens, Lukovia, Katormson with it. Katormson looking to attack. It's got York for company. Katormson across the ice pass. And that will come back. Salmons, 18 seconds remaining. Salmons cleared. Salmons goes flying into tomorrow's game. Taking some time to get up. Back now for Brunt. 10 seconds with the Cooper. Back to centre ice. And that is game. The Inferno had a long day, but that day got a little bit better with a 3-1 win against the Sirens on Saturday night.
It did, and there were no goals scored in that third period. That was a great battle. You can see how hard the girls work. You can just see it in their faces. They are trying to suck as much air as they can get in. The trouble is, though, there's a short turnaround between games.
Absolutely there is. Absolutely there is. Shots on goal ended up favouring the Inferno 39-25. 3 goals for the Inferno, 1 for the Sirens. and the Inferno. They had a very short bench. They lost Michelle Clark-Crompton to injury.
We hope she'll be back tomorrow morning, but we shall see. We never like seeing players get injured.
We certainly don't. Handshakes all around.
Didn't Zoe Webb have a fantastic game?
Oh, she did. Absolutely did. And it's these sort of games that, you know, she had a lot of work to do. There were only two lines of defence. At one stage, they had both defenders in the penalty box. So it was Bailey and Webb who were the only ones left. Handshakes all around. Probably the closest Inferno Sirens game that I've ever commentated on. Usually a lot more high scoring, but the teams are very, very different now compared to back then, and the league's different as well.
Absolutely, but also you've got outstanding goaltending happening at either end. I mean, we said that Lakari before this game, not sure how it would change now, but was second in save percentage, and Sasha close behind in third. Two of the best goaltenders in the league doing outstanding work, coming up with some big saves. So no doubt Sasha will be playing again tomorrow. She's played all the games for Perth so far this season. As the Sirens normally do, we expect to see Noka Wellard starting tomorrow, but we shall see when we get to tomorrow.
So stick taps all around for both teams. A very hard-fought victory for the Perth Inferno, and it's been an interesting weekend of hockey, and it's by no means over. There's a full slate of games tomorrow, and we kick things off Sydney/Newcastle time very, very early of 8:15. Now, if that sounds early for us, it's even earlier for the Inferno supporters at home, and that's 5:15 in the morning.
Indeed, and for these players who had the long flight and then the long drive and the late game, recovery is going to be key for them. A lot of those girls looked very, very tired on the ice. There is only a short around time. I don't know if anyone's getting an 8-hour sleep tonight, but I'm sure the team is well supported, and the girls will be having a good dinner and good recovery. Jump in the hotel pool if there is one, because it's an early start tomorrow morning. And
it's probably still reasonably hot outside, even though it is 20 to 10 local time.
If you're not in a nice rink, get into a pool.
Absolutely, Sarah. Great to see you as always. Thank you.
Thank you. Always fun doing this with you.
Absolutely. And also thank you to our hardworking ThoughtFox Media crew. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. All the games are live and free on YouTube, and then you can watch them back later as well. AWIHL.tv. We'll see you then. The Perth Inferno 3 have defeated the Sydney Sirens 1 at the Hunter Ice Skating Stadium. Thanks for watching. See you bright and early tomorrow morning. Bye for now.